Good evening and welcome to the regular City Council meeting for the City of St. Peter, Minnesota. It is Monday, April 22nd, 2024. We are now called to order. It is 7 p.m. Would all rise for the pledge? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. First up on our agenda is the approval of the agenda. Everybody's received a copy of the agenda. Are there any revisions or corrections? Hearing none, is there a motion to approve the agenda as distributed?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The agenda is approved. Moving on to approval of the minutes. The minutes appear on page 4 through 6 of the packet. Is there a motion to approve the minutes as distributed?
I have one correction.
Sure.
Brad DeVos last name and a few errors, just has an extra S. So just correcting his last name in those areas where it shows up as two S's.
All right. Is there, would you like to make a motion to approve with that correction?
I'll make a motion to approve with that correction.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor of approval say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The minutes are approved. Moving on, we have time on our schedule for visitor comments. Right now, we will set aside time for visitors who'd like to comment on agenda items. Is there any visitor who'd like to speak to the council? Hearing none, we have time for general visitor comments. Is there a visitor who'd like to address the council on any matter whatsoever? Hearing none, we will move on to the approval of the consent agenda. The consent agenda begins with the memo on page 8 and concludes with the resolution that is printed on pages 38 through 39 of the packet. It's pretty lengthy, so I won't read everything tonight, but the first item would be purchase from Valley Ag Equipment for Camion Series Systems T-Series EcoMax 800-gallon liquid master brine sprayer for $26,485.56. We have tree worker license renewals. I believe there are 14 of them, all for the period May 1st, 2024 through April 31st, 2025. That complete list appears on the packet, and those are also posted on the website. One appointment, Bob Weisenfeld to the Heritage Preservation Commission for a term ending December 31st, 2026. A number of new hires, most of which are seasonal. That complete list of names, position, and salary is listed within the packet, so I won't read that since it's lengthy. Community Center surplus. There's a long list of items within the attached memo, as well as the schedule of disbursements for April 5th, 2024 through April 18th, 2024. Is there any discussion on any item on the consent agenda? Hearing no discussion, is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So moved. Second.
We have a motion and a second. Call the roll, please.
Councilmember Weisenfeld.
I'm going to abstain from the section about appointing my dad to his position, but aye for the rest of them.
Okay.
So if just for a point of clarification, because these are all wrapped into one resolution, you could abstain from the whole.
I will
not just
abstain
one.
from the whole.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Councilmember Sharstrom.
Aye.
Mayor Noel.
Aye.
Councilmember Johnson.
Aye.
Councilmember Pettis.
Aye.
Councilmember Ranth.
Aye.
All right, the resolution is approved. We have no items of unfinished business. We have 2 items of new business, the first item of which is a resolution requesting municipal state aid construction account advance. And Pete is here to talk to us about that.
Madam Mayor and City Council, as you're aware, we use municipal state aid for a lot of our funding. This is money that we receive to the state to make improvements on MSA eligible routes. We receive roughly $688,000 a year to make those improvements, and usually from time to time what we will do is combine a few projects and borrow ahead in order to make payment on some of those projects that we have. We have done this in the past, as you're aware. Back in 2013, we used this on the Washington Avenue link in order to complete the project because we did the project ahead of schedule. What we're looking for with the request here is 1.440.375 million. That would include money spent for Old Minnesota Avenue Roundabout, Trunk Highway 169 and 22, the improvements that we did downtown on the south end, 361st or Magner Parkway, and safe routes to school. The request tonight is that you approve the advancement request from us, and then we'll work with our city's engineer in order to make that request through the state. And we're asking that you approve the resolution on page 43.
All right, thank you, Pete. Anything to add, Todd?
No.
All right, that resolution appears on pages 43 through 44 of the packet. Are there any questions for Pete? Hearing nothing, is there a motion to approve the resolution?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Call the roll, please.
Councilmember Sharstrom.
Aye.
Mayor Noel.
Aye.
Councilmember Johnson.
Aye.
Councilmember Pettis.
Aye.
Councilmember Rampt.
Aye.
Councilmember Weisenfeld.
Aye.
The resolution is approved.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Pete.
Thanks, Pete.
Moving on, we have a resolution approving a new tree worker license, a 6-month peddler license, and 2 temporary tobacco licenses.
Mayor, members, the information starts in your packet, I believe on page 45. These licenses come to you as they are new licenses, as you may know, based on your policy and practice. Renewals are put on the consent agenda. Again, the information is in your packet. All of these folks are background checked according to your policy and practice, and the resolution is included on page 47. It includes a tree worker license, a 6-month peddler permit, and temporary tobacco licenses for 2 dates at the same location. Again, there's nothing in the background checks that came back that would give us pause or not recommend moving these forward. Again, the resolution's on page 47.
You said those 2 events are at the same location?
Yeah. Oh
Nicholas?
no, I'm sorry. One is at Minnesota Square and one is at the fairgrounds
Okay.
for the temporary tobacco miter.
And my recollection is that we approved those 2 last year as well, those 2 events, and we did temporary licenses for them?
So at least one of them is for an event that is different than the other, and so that's why it's included in here.
Okay. Any questions for Todd?
I was just gonna say the clarification on, I think for the Smolder Cigar one from the tourism board, the event, the barbecue competition last year
Is it different?
it was not really open to the public, whereas now it is being advertised as being open to the public, which is probably why that's different this year from last year.
Gotcha. I do remember from tourism board last year that they were kind of keeping it in.
Yeah, and so it's still a little bit weird of a deal where it's kind of open to the public, but not open to the public, but they're advertising it as more open to the public, so there's vendors now.
All right. Thanks for that clarification. Any further discussion, questions? Hearing nothing further, the resolution on page 47 of the packet calls for approving a new tree worker license, a 6-month peddler license, and 2 temporary tobacco licenses. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Call the roll, please.
Mayor Noel,
Aye.
Councilmember Johnson,
Aye.
Councilmember Pettis,
Aye.
Councilmember Rampt,
Aye.
Councilmember Weisenfeld,
Aye.
Councilmember Sharstrom.
Aye.
The resolution is approved. Moving on to reports, I have one report tonight, which is a proclamation regarding Arbor Day and Arbor Month. Whereas Minnesota's forest treasures are a significant attraction to early settlers because of their usefulness and the beautiful environment they protected, and whereas trees are an increasingly vital resource in Minnesota, enriching our lives by purifying air and water, helping to conserve soil and energy, serving as recreational settings, providing habitat for wildlife of all kinds, and making our lives more livable. And whereas Arbor Day was founded on April 10th, 1872 by J. Sterling Morton at Nebraska City, Nebraska, and whereas in 1876, Minnesota became the 4th state to adopt Arbor Day, and whereas the citizens of St. Peter have proudly participated in the celebration of Arbor Day and Arbor Month for many years, now therefore I, Shannon A. Noel, Mayor of the City of St. Peter, Minnesota, do hereby proclaim April 26th, 2024 as Arbor Day and May 2024 as Arbor Month in the city, and encourage citizens to participate in tree planting activities at their homes and businesses. That's it. It's kind of an interesting time to be talking about trees. We're seeing more ash trees come down and stumps are coming out, and so encourage people to plant trees. And we do a great job at the city of replacing trees. For every one we take down, we plant 2. So if you're worried about trees coming out, fear not. The city is committed to replacing those trees. So that will conclude my report. Are there any council members who'd like to make reports at this time? Then we will move on to the city administrator.
Mayor members, I'd like to have Pete come up and just give us a little update because the weather, well, was turning really nice now. I'm not exactly sure what it's going to be like, but Pete has a prediction and can talk about restrooms and fountains and parks.
Yes, the restrooms should be open now, and we're maintaining those on weekends, and so we'll assume our regular activities in our park restrooms. Water faucets will be probably about the middle of next week before they're fully energized, but everything else should be ready to roll.
Wonderful.
This is a little bit ahead of normal schedule. Our normal practice is May 1st, Pete.
Yep, usually around May 1st.
It's been so warm.
It's been nice.
Any chance the pool will open early?
No. We're still gonna push that right to the end, but
Our struggle there is getting lifeguards,
Oh,
frankly,
I
that can
suppose.
start earlier. We
Yeah.
might be able to physically make it work, but lifeguards is a challenge.
Yeah,
We
we
got a
want
tight
them to
window.
finish up their school years, I imagine.
Yep.
All right. Well, thanks, that's
Yep,
exciting.
thank you.
Madam Mayor, that's the only report that I have for you tonight. However, I am asking for an executive session or closed session to discuss union negotiations with 4 of your groups, the water, wastewater, stormwater group, the electric lineman group, parks group, and streets group. And it is not my anticipation that we would come back into open session to take action on any of those. I expect only to come back into open session for an adjournment.
All right. Does everybody have a copy of the resolution?
The resolution should have been provided for you on your desk.
All right, the resolution calling for closed sessions, everybody's got a copy. Is there a motion to approve the resolution?
So move. Second.
We have a motion and a second. Call the roll, please.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Councilmember Johnson.
Aye.
Councilmember Pettis.
Aye.
Councilmember Rampt.
Aye.
Councilmember Weisenfeld.
Aye.
Councilmember Sharstrom.
Aye.
Mayor Noel.
Aye. The resolution is approved. It is 7:13 and we will adjourn to executive session.
All right, so for executive session, folks, we'll be down.